Have you ever looked at your own money situation and wondered where all your hard-earned cash seems to disappear? Perhaps you feel like you're doing all the right things, but your wallet isn't looking how you'd like. The problem may not be how much you earn. No, it may be because you don't quite know how to play the money game. We see images of sudden wealth everywhere. The risky investments, the lucky breaks, the idea that getting rich is an exciting, fast-paced event. But this is not the reality for most. The art of wealth is not just about making money, but about multiplying and preserving it. This is a game, and like any game, it has rules. The best part? You can learn to play it too. It's not rocket science. They aren't just any rules. They are the keys to unlocking a smarter way to handle your finances. In this video, we are going to cover 10 of these boring but incredibly powerful rules the wealthy follow. The thing is, it's not about how much you make, it's about what you do with it. So watch the video until the end, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future videos we upload. Getting back to the video, let's start from rule number 1, and that is live on last year's lifestyle. The first rule of the money game is to defeat a trap that keeps so many people from building wealth: lifestyle inflation. This is the tendency to increase your spending every time your income goes up. You get a raise or a bonus, and almost immediately your expenses rise to meet it. The nicer car, the more expensive dinners. It seems harmless, but it prevents you from getting ahead even on a high income. Here's the deal. The most powerful time to build wealth is right after an income increase. While most people see a raise as a chance to spend more, the wealthy see it as a chance to invest more. They make a choice to live on last year's income for another year. Why does this work? Imagine you get a $10,000 raise. The average person absorbs this into their monthly budget. The financially disciplined person takes that $10,000 and immediately directs it toward their investments. They don't even let it hit their main checking account. This isn't about permanent deprivation. It's a calculated strategy. By keeping your expenses the same, you widen the gap between what you earn and what you spend. This gap is the key factor in wealth creation. The wider it is, the faster you win the game. To implement this, the moment you get a raise, decide what percentage will go to your financial goals. Automate the transfer. This simple, boring administrative task is a powerful move in the money game. Rule 2. Be selectively cheap. There is a misconception that wealthy people are cheap about everything. This is not quite right. They are not cheap. They are ruthlessly intentional. This rule is about being frugal with things that do not matter to you, so you can spend generously on the things that do. Most people spread their spending evenly. They might overpay for small daily items and then feel guilty about a large purchase they truly value. The wealthy do the opposite. They will negotiate a bill or drive an older car, but have no issue spending on a family vacation or a high-quality item that lasts. They understand that being poor is expensive. The person who can only afford cheap boots buys them every year, while the person who can afford quality boots buys them once a decade and spends less in the long run. To practice this, you must first define what you truly value. Make a list. This is where you have permission to spend. Next, identify what you do not value. This is where you become relentlessly frugal. Look at your bank statement. Find the small leaks, the unused subscriptions, the daily cafe visits. Canceling these may feel small, but saving $100 a month and investing it over 30 years can grow into a very significant amount. It's the boring, small decisions that lead to massive results. Rule 3. Track your money. This rule is about a fundamental principle. You cannot manage what you do not measure. Many people have only a vague idea of where their money goes. They know their major bills, but the rest is a blur. This financial blindness is a massive barrier to building wealth. Wealthy individuals, in contrast, track their income and expenses. This is not because they need to count every penny, but because they need to make decisions based on data, not feelings. They treat their finances like a business. Why is this so powerful? Tracking your money removes the emotional part of spending. It's not about feeling guilty, it's about looking at the numbers. When you see you spent $600 on takeout last month, you are simply presented with a fact. Is that spending aligned with your values? From Rule 2, or is it a leak? Without tracking, you would never have the information to even make that choice. Simply the act of tracking what you do changes your behavior. And to make this process easy, we are building the Trip2wealth Command Center to simplify everything. A Google Sheets system that tracks your income, spending, and net worth in one place. It's a full strategy hub. It reveals money leaks, growth opportunities, and how small changes compound. When you can see progress, you stay motivated. Join the early access link below. The tool will be out soon. Alternatively, you can also dedicate 30 minutes each week to review your transactions. The goal for the first month is simply to observe. At the end of the month, review the data. You will be surprised. That awareness is the critical first step to taking control of the game. Rule 4. Automate savings and bills. Let's talk about the next rule. This one is perhaps the most boring, but also one of the most effective. It's about putting your finances on autopilot. Willpower is a limited resource. Relying on discipline to save money or pay bills on time is a strategy that often fails. Automation is the system that protects you from yourself. This is the principle of paying yourself first. Most people earn money, pay bills, spend, and then save what is left. The problem is, there is rarely anything left. The wealthy invert this process. They earn money, then immediately and automatically transfer a set amount to savings and investments. They live off what remains. Savings is treated as the most important bill they have to pay. The genius of this is that it removes decision-making. When the money is automatically moved from your account, you never have the chance to miss it. It's like being in a game where the best moves are made for you automatically. Studies on 401k plans show that when enrollment is automatic, participation rates skyrocket. The system does the work. This is a simple, one-time setup. First, automate your retirement contributions. Second, set up an automatic transfer from your checking to your investment account for the day after you get paid. Third, set up autopay for all your recurring bills to avoid late fees. This system builds wealth in the background, whether you feel motivated or not. Rule 5. Embrace a basic investment strategy. The world of investing can seem complex. You hear about options, crypto, and people trying to find the next big stock. This leads many to either do nothing or to gamble on speculative assets. For the most part, the wealthy do neither. This rule of money management is about embracing a simple and yes, boring strategy. Low-cost, diversified index fund investing. An index fund holds a collection of stocks designed to mimic a market index, like the S&P 500. Instead of trying to beat the market, you are simply matching the market's performance. Legendary investors like Warren Buffett champion this strategy for the average person. Why does this boring strategy work so well? First, it's very low cost. High fees on actively managed funds will eat your returns. Second, it is diversified. One share of an S&P 500 fund gives you a piece of 500 large companies, protecting you from the risk of a single company failing. Third, it consistently outperforms most professional stock pickers over the long term. You do not need to be an expert. Open an account with a low-cost firm. Choose a broad market index fund. Then, use the automation from Rule 4 to contribute consistently. That is the entire plan. No hot tips, no market timing. Just a simple, disciplined, and proven strategy. It's a boring move that wins the game. By the way, if you're enjoying the video so far and want more topics like this, comment the word "more" so I know. All right, now let's get to one of the most difficult yet powerful rules of all, and that is, do nothing. This might sound counterintuitive, but one of the most profitable rules is the discipline to do absolutely nothing. After setting up their automated investment plan from Rule 5, wealthy investors let it work. They resist the urge to react to scary headlines or chase fads. They understand that activity is often the enemy of returns. This do-nothing approach is powerful because it protects you from emotional decisions. When the market crashes, our instinct is to sell. When a stock is soaring, we feel the fear of missing out and want to buy. This cycle of buying high and selling low is why the average investor underperforms the market. Long-term investors know that market volatility is a normal part of the game. They see downturns not as a crisis, but as a sale. It's like having an end-of-the-world mentality, as we've discussed before. If the world were actually ending, your bank balance wouldn't matter. So, you must stay calm and rational. They stick to their written investment plan, which acts as an anchor in a sea of emotional noise. This inaction protects them from self-inflicted damage. To implement this, accept that you cannot predict short-term market movements. Limit how often you check your portfolio. When you feel panic, refer back to your written plan. Trust the strategy you set up when you were rational, not the feelings you get from the news. Rule 7. Play decades, not days. This rule is the philosophy behind all the others. Wealth is built by thinking in decades, not days. The magic of building wealth comes from compound growth, and compounding requires one thing: a very long time horizon. Time is a more valuable asset than money. Think about it. An 18-year-old who invests $100 a month has a greater advantage than a 40-year-old who invests $1,000 a month, simply because their money has more time to compound. Here's an example. If you invest $500 a month starting at age 25, you could have over $1.7 million by age 65. If you wait just 10 years and start at 35, you'd have to invest over $1,200 a month to reach that same goal. That is the mathematical power of a long-term mindset. This changes your entire perspective. You stop worrying about market dips because you know they are blips on a 40-year chart. You focus on consistent contributions because you know that time in the market is what matters, not timing the market. It's like being in a boat. You need to know which way the wind is blowing to set your sails correctly for a long journey. This patience is a superpower. Rule 8. Live below your means. After exploring the importance of a long-term mindset, we come to a rule that is the absolute foundation of all wealth. You must spend less than you earn. It does not matter if you make $50,000 or $5 million. If you spend everything you make, you will never build wealth. Wealth is not a function of how much you earn. It is a function of how much you keep. Living below your means is the habit that makes all other habits possible. It creates the surplus cash needed to save and invest. This isn't about extreme deprivation. It's about creating a permanent, healthy gap between your income and expenses. People who live paycheck to paycheck are in a fragile position. An unexpected bill can cause a crisis. People who live below their means have a buffer. They have financial resilience and sleep better at night. Furthermore, this habit gives you the ultimate power. Options. The option to leave a job you hate, start a business, or travel. These moves are only possible when you are not tied to a high-cost lifestyle. This rule is a combination of the previous ones: tracking your money, being selectively cheap, avoiding lifestyle inflation, and automating savings. It is the bedrock of your financial future. Rule 9. Avoid and eliminate high-interest debt. If living below your means is the engine of wealth, then high-interest debt is the emergency brake. This rule teaches a crucial lesson. Wealthy individuals understand that while some debt can be a tool, high-interest consumer debt is a wealth-destroying plague. Think about the returns. When you pay off a credit card with a 22% interest rate, you are making a 22% guaranteed, risk-free return on your money. You cannot find that kind of guaranteed return anywhere else. This is why paying off high-interest debt should be a top priority. The problem is that it is compound interest working against you. It's a headwind that makes it feel impossible to get ahead. The wealthy might use low-interest loans to acquire assets that appreciate, like a business or real estate. This is leverage. But they are allergic to financing depreciating assets, like cars or vacations, with high-interest credit. To implement this, first, stop taking on new high-interest debt. Second, create a plan to aggressively pay off what you already have. You can use the avalanche method, highest interest rate first, or the snowball method, smallest balance first. Both work. Once the debt is gone, redirect that old payment directly into your investments. And finally, rule number 10, that will lead you to success. This one is often overlooked: financial minimalism. As we go through life, we collect financial clutter: an old 401k, unused bank accounts, multiple credit cards. This complexity makes it harder to track your money, and more likely you are paying unnecessary fees. Wealthy people understand that simplicity equals efficiency. They periodically simplify and consolidate their financial lives. This might mean rolling old 401ks into one IRA or closing unused accounts. Why is this so powerful? First, it reduces fees. Second, it makes tracking your entire financial picture much easier. When you can see everything in one or two places, it's easier to make strategic decisions. Third, it reduces mental load. A simpler financial life frees up mental energy to focus on what really matters, increasing your income and sticking to your plan. Schedule an annual financial decluttering. On this day, list all your financial accounts. Identify any that are redundant and plan to close or consolidate them. Audit your recurring subscriptions. Just like decluttering your home, simplifying your finances brings a sense of calm and control. It is the final step in creating an efficient, wealth-building machine. So there you have it. 10 boring, simple, and powerful rules that the wealthy use to build and preserve their fortunes. Let's recap. Rule 1, live on last year's lifestyle. Rule 2, be selectively cheap. Rule 3, track your money. Rule 4, automate your finances. Rule 5, embrace a basic investment strategy. Rule 6, do nothing. Rule 7, play decades, not days. Rule 8, live below your means. Rule 9, avoid high-interest debt. Rule 10, simplify and declutter. None of these rules require you to be some kind of genius. They do not require a lucky break. They require discipline and patience. Wealth is not an event. It is a process. It is the result of stacking these small, wise choices year after year until they compound into financial freedom. The path to wealth is not sexy. It is quiet. It is methodical. And as we've seen, it's pretty boring. But it works, and it is available to anyone willing to learn the game. The purpose of this video is to educate you on various aspects of money management and not to give you any specific investment advice. Investing involves risks, and you should always do your own research and consult with qualified professionals. It is important to conduct thorough research and consult with financial professionals before making any investment decisions. If you found value today, I highly recommend watching my next video, The Compounding Plan for Adults Between 35 to 55 Feeling Behind. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. I appreciate your support more than you know. Until next time, stay consistent, stay patient, and stay winning. See you in the next video.